Here I am with the virtual class and I'll be continuing with the paragraph writing. There I have chosen some techniques and devices and which are quite part away from the traditional way which we mostly use in the classrooms. Paragraph writing is not as easy as we think. Uh, Nowadays paragraph writing has a very good scope in competition examinations. Before I come to today's topic, educate development of a paragraph, I will recapitulate here uh, what a paragraph is, what I have been telling you previously, and what I have told you about the definition of a paragraph. There are so many definitions of a paragraph, and one that I chose previously, I explained that, and we have come to the conclusion that we may define a paragraph as a collection or series of sentences with unity of purpose. That means we have a topic line there, and we have a single purpose, and all the sentences following the topic line lead to that very line or explain the central theme of that paragraph. So we can say all the sentences deal with one topic or and are linked to each other in such a way as to explain and amplify the central theme. We also discussed unity and coherence as essential features of the paragraph. Previously I told you why, how we can maintain the unity of a paragraph, and what are the essential features, how we can develop the uh, coherence in a paragraph. How that is, we use linking words, we use nouns, we use synonyms, and I have discussed those all things with you, and I hope you are quite familiar with such things. Besides these two features, there is one more basic requirement of a paragraph, and that's my topic today, that is educate development. For educate development of a paragraph, we have some techniques, we have some devices to continue to the unity of the paragraph. The entire paragraph should emerge from or lead to the topic sentence. This we know. The various techniques we use to develop a paragraph are, remember, we have 8 or 10 techniques as are reflected in a book, Effective Writing, written by Dr. Sharda Kaushik. And those techniques are listing. That is, listing is a technique of writing a paragraph. We list some things, then elaborate those things one by one. We make list of examples, by way of examples, we also develop a paragraph. By using examples, we also develop a paragraph. The techniques which we have to use at this stage to adequately develop a paragraph, and that I will be discussing in detail, are comparison, contrast, definitions, classification, space and time, process description, cause and effect, generalization. What we are required to know at this stage for adequate development of a paragraph are these 3 or 4 techniques, which I'll be discussing in detail. One is comparison, one is contrast, one is definition, one is cause and effect. Before coming to the adequate development of a paragraph, I will call your attention for towards the kinds of the paragraph. And before we come to the coder, the technique coder that has been suggested, that has been put in the study material issued by the Board of School Education. Before we come to that, and I want to discuss these four techniques for adequate development of the paragraph. And before coming to the adequate development of a paragraph, before coming to the techniques of adequate development of the paragraph, we must be familiar with the kinds of the paragraph. There are six or more than six kinds of a paragraph. There is one is descriptive paragraph, biographical paragraph, narrative paragraph, augmentative paragraph, scientific paragraph, reflective paragraph. We are mostly asked questions from the point of view of the examination. We are to write the descriptive paragraphs or the narrative paragraphs. Before coming to the descriptive or narrative paragraphs, or before coming to the coder, that is that we follow by writing a paragraph, that is C for collection. I'll be discussing in detail and I'll be telling you about the coder later on. But today I'm introducing you coder. Coder is C for collection, O for order, D for drafting, E for editing, and R for re-editing. And before coming to that, before coming to finally writing a paragraph, we will know the techniques of writing of a paragraph. Paragraph development by comparison. When we write a paragraph where we can develop it by the comparison, we compare the similar aspects or similar qualities of two subjects. Suppose here is something which I have written, is that despite various differences between a tiller and a tractor, they are quite similar in their functions. The tractor is used to plow the soil and tiller tills the soil. A tractor can hold big power motors on it, and a tiller can hold also power motors for power spraying of pesticides and insecticides. These are the similarities between the tractor and the tiller, and we can list them and we can develop a paragraph by using this very technique. Spraying of pesticides and insecticides on all kinds of plants and trees. We can fix a trolley for carrying big loads, and we can also fix on a tractor, and we can also fix a small trolley to carry loads here and there. By way of contrast, so these were the similarities we compare between the tractor and a tiller, and we can make a list of these similarities and then develop a paragraph. We can also develop a paragraph by way of contrast. By way of contrast, we can develop a paragraph. Here we compare these similar aspects of two things. We compare these similar aspects of two things and then develop a paragraph. Despite the similarities in a tiller and a tractor, let us again develop a paragraph on tilling of soil by a tractor and tiller. And this here we will make now the contrast between the two. Despite the similarities in tiller and a tractor, there are huge differences that amount to the time and space of tilling. A tractor has 5 to 9 big plows and can plow wide tract deep. The tiller has 19 but can plow only a small tract that also shallow. A tractor can move to high steeps in a terraced land, while a tiller can mostly till plains only. A tractor has more automatic control, whereas a tiller is mostly manually handled. So these are the ways